even having to go back 10 metres every time, like that was completely bizarre concept to me.
There's 21 blokes that just left training the other day. The academy sort of moves up and is part of the seniors. We probably don't have that happen as often. That was quite interesting to see how that all operated.
Like something I definitely wouldn't have been able to be exposed to if it wasn't for the kind of the opportunity of Leinster and Melbourne doing this type of thing.
We feel so comfortable here and so welcomed. So obviously I'm going to go back to Melbourne saying how great this place was, and I'd love to come back.
How did you lads find coming over here so far?
Langy and I, we're both Melburnians, Victorians, and we're the minority at the moment at the club, in a sense, because it's something that the club's trying to work on, is building locals playing, whereas here it's the complete opposite. So everyone knows each other quite well from growing up, whereas at Storm, as you guys witnessed, like there's a lot of people come from different places and they're all there for the common goal.
No, I agree with you, and I thought one of the things I picked up on that I actually thought was really interesting is how some of the boys, especially when they're fresh to Melbourne Storm into the club, as they go live with one of the, like someone who's already playing there. So I think one of the lads, a few lads live with like Harry Grant and stuff like that. And it's kind of, I just thought that dynamic was cool, you know, like, and I don't know, maybe that's something in Leinster we could do in the future. I don't know, getting lads who are, I don't know, coming up from the country or coming from other places or whatever. Yeah, moving in with lads who are kind of probably already established in around the environment, you know, because it kind of, you can obviously see it kind of helps with that sort of connection piece too.
The wrestling sessions that you lads would have done would have been great crack, because obviously the defensive side of things is completely different in league. So that was quite hard to grasp at the start, but it was definitely something that I really enjoyed, and even though I was probably getting beaten up half the time, I thought I got a grasp of it towards the end. But what sort of things?
Some of the drills that we've done, like the game scenario drills, I find it quite cool how you do the game plan in the gym, like the walkthroughs. That's very like detail, like trying to nail it on the head before you go out on the pitch and then deliver it on a bigger field, of course.
Yeah,
but
I think that's the big thing
great
for us too, that we try to marry sort of thinking and that decision making in detail with like intent, which you boys like obviously have bags in your games, like that intent and that sort of, I suppose, physicality and aggression. That's probably something we want to try and bring into our own game a little bit. But it's like it's interesting seeing that, you know. And like you say, that there's probably a lot less detail in the league. But I actually felt when I was down training with you guys that I actually was probably thinking more than I would be training up here. Maybe obviously because it's a new game and all that. But like even having to go back 10 metres every time, like that was completely bizarre concept to me. Like, and I remember there's times where like I was only going back 5, and then some of the lads, Craig or Todd or whatever, were just roaring at me, like, you know, and it was gas, like. But that was good. It's good learning, like. But it's obviously that sort of difference, you know. Jack's known as one of the, I suppose, the best defence coaches in the world in Union, like with being with South Africa and stuff. Is there anything that you've sort of, I suppose, picked up from him or from his sort of coaching that you think is either similar or different or transferable?
His passion for the game is like unreal. He's all over everything. He only wants to see the team get better, and he also cares about the players. Like he wants to see the best, and that's what like Craig and like Mark, our coaches, do as well. Yeah, similar coaching crew.
The knowledge is off the charts over there. You've like few coaches from lots of different backgrounds. There was some from Union, and then obviously from league as well. So they kind of understood why what we were thinking when we were kind of asking questions. Like a lot of the time I was kind of asking lads, why you guys do this? It doesn't make sense to me. And then when they kind of break the answer to me, I'm like, oh yeah, that definitely makes sense. They had a lot of patience, you know. Stevie was running around a bit headless some of the times. So I find that kind of funny. They were great with him.
The coaches have been so patient with me, trying to teach me from scratch. They would pause like the whole training session just to explain to me how to perform a ruck and how to clear a ruck. I knew nothing, but yeah, they're real patient with me, and they're so willing, like down to earth, to like teach me from scratch the basics you teach a 9-year-old. And I've played like, you know, the highest league, and I've played NRL, coming here not knowing anything, and they're willing to teach me as if I'm like a 9-year-old kid.
I played a bit on the wing training during the week, and I don't usually play much on the wing, but I work with wingers and centres a lot as a fullback. And just seeing how proactive wingers and centres are in Union in terms of covering both sides, but also liaising with their fullback and their halves as to what's going on and being more active in that. I reckon that's something we could bring into our game, is having, you know, centres and wingers that are a bit more, because they've got the ability to do it, but sort of more combined in the players instead of just running a hole or support player. Having the ability to be like, right, I think we should run this, or which do a lot, but I reckon it's one of the things I was looking forward to was looking at counter attack, and I got a lot out of that. I had a big chat with Sam and Hugo about that, and then even chatting with Sam Pendergrass about, because he potholed me one of the first days, just to chat about league. Yeah, and he knows quite a bit about Union, so I was just picking his brain. He's telling me about how he sees cues and indicators in attack, how he might manipulate the defence, so I've got that all in my head. Different perspective. Just, it's a bit eye-opening, especially being thrown in, because we were at the game at Croke Park, and you, like, chatting to all the boys and stuff, they said, like, it's not just the game rivalry, there's like societal rivalry between, because it's different areas and there's actually a bit of history to that. Like you said, it spans back. What's that sort of like in terms of?
Yeah, I suppose even like from ourselves, like we be coming up through the age groups every year, 18s, 19s, A games and all, like you're playing Munster and you're playing the other provinces too, but it's always probably a little bit different when you play Munster. You don't want to lose to Munster, and like obviously, unfortunately we came out the wrong end of it in the senior game this year, but you know, it just does have that different edge about it during the week and a bit of a feel that like, oh, I don't want to lose to these guys, you know, because I suppose of that historic rivalry that was there.
Was there anyone in Melbourne you guys were looking forward to meeting, like anyone you could pick the brains out of, like kind of similar positions or not similar positions?
Yeah, so like when I found out I was going, obviously started watching the games and kind of clued in a bit more, and then there's just so many exciting players, I guess, in Melbourne Storm. Like I was loving Xavier Coates, like some of his highlights, and then just like kind of watching his footage, kind of like a Israel Folau type guy, incredible in the air, fast, scores a lot of tries. So I remember when we first got there, it was actually State of Origin, so he wasn't there, but I remember him rocking into the change room, and it was kind of like my first day at Leinster again when I saw some of the lads that I used to look up to when I was younger. And I was like, oh wow. And then he came, a bit shook, and then started chatting to him, and then like 15 minutes later I'm training with him. So that was pretty cool. Like something I definitely wouldn't have been able to be exposed to if it wasn't for the kind of the opportunity of Leinster and Melbourne doing this type of thing.
The one guy who actually blew me out of the water was Josh King. I think just his professionalism and his attitude towards everything was like class, like honestly second to none. And even I got paired up with him in the gym for a few days and stuff, and kind of chatting to him about his own journey and stuff. He probably didn't have I suppose like a lot of players probably, but he didn't have the smoothest ride. He kind of, came out of school, in and out of academies, took a year or two off when travelling, kind of got back into it, then got released from a club, came to Melbourne and just sort of took off, you know. And yeah, I think just his sort of, you can see how much Melbourne Storm means to him, and just sort of how he goes about every day, about getting better every day and just being as professional as he can. Like I'd actually extremely similar character to Josh van der Fleer here. You know, just both of them kind of go hand in hand in the way they go about things, and I just thought that was extremely impressive.
For me, it was meeting Spicer. Spice. The boys were telling me how big he was. I didn't know how big he was, and then he had to duck the door to come shake my hand. So I was like, he was probably the biggest bloke I've met. You wouldn't see that in league. Well, we had Nelson Solomona, but he just left. But yeah, he's a big boy, and it'd be good to see him moving. I got to watch the game against Munster that you guys had, the academy game. He's strong, man.
And then I was also keen to meet Hugo. Saw him play on the Lions tour. Same position as me
Keenan,
as well.
no, not McLaughlin.
Hugo Keenan.
Yeah.
I was keen to chat to him, see how he goes about. He's currently injured, but still had some good chats with him. And yeah, seeing Sam train on the paddocks, so skillful, Sam Pendergrass. Like he's got all the tools in the box.
He's went for a swim with Berto.
Yeah.
How was that?
He's probably one of the most humble guys I've met, him and also Josh. He came out of his way and introduced himself to me, made us feel real welcome. I don't really leave the country much, and without my family it's even worse. So, yeah, he asked me and Hugo what we were doing Saturday morning when you guys all had games, and we said we had nothing on. And he came over, picked us up at 9 a.m, took us, showed us some sights. What was the biker? It was a bit cold, but you feel great after. And when we got back to the car, opened the boot, and he gave us both Ireland played and signed jerseys. Yeah, so top bloke. I don't think I deserved it, but yeah. And also took us out to breakfast, which he also paid for as well. So I don't know.
From like an academy focus, even we've been here for the juice of it is like there's 21 blokes that just left training the other day. So like that doesn't really happen for us, and that's kind of crazy when you think of it. So like all the academy sort of moves up and is part of the seniors. We probably don't have that happen as often. That was quite interesting to see how that all operated.
Yeah, I suppose we're lucky that we get those, especially like in Leinster, so many internationals, that there is windows, obviously the autumn series and then Six Nations, etc., where you actually get the chance to go train with the senior, like the first team as much as possible, and kind of put up your hand for selection. And even talking to Frank Peninci, your director of rugby down there, and Craig and stuff, that's probably the biggest difference at the moment, is that we kind of get the opportunity to go and play. You are seeing that sort of stuff, and you guys are probably developing that at the moment, trying to get more boys playing NRL and stuff. I suppose Victorian boys. I suppose you guys as well, since you've been here, you've been lucky. You've got to experience a game in the Viva and Croke Park.
Correct, and we had the privilege to also train on it.
Yeah, and train on it too, like in Croke. How would you find that?
No, it was crazy. The boys were telling me the stories. It's obviously pretty historic, and I didn't know much about Croke Park before I came. I think coming to Ireland, you realise a lot of the stuff here is pretty historic, and everything has such a crazy background behind it and crazy story. But yeah, also real privileged for the opportunity you guys have given us. And something I did notice was when you guys were kicking conversions, it will be to win the game, and everyone goes dead silent. No one makes a word, and I started talking, and the person next to me told me shush, because and it was crazy.
I'd probably just say getting comfortable in uncomfortable environments, probably. Walking in on the first day, it's like a lot of new faces, a lot of names, some high profile players. Like you're going in to do something that you love, so kind of just enjoy it. I reckon the first like maybe hour and a bit I was a bit like, oh, how am I going to work around, like how am I going to go about myself here? But then just chatting to the lads, it's just like home. Everyone's kind of human, everyone's here because they enjoy the sport, and I was able to kind of just relax and kick into gear then, and you can kind of take that into a lot of things in life, but probably just like I kind of have that behind me now in the bag, so if I go into new environments again, I've kind of been in that situation and I kind of know how to navigate it, I guess. That'll probably be my main takeaway from the whole thing.
I'm also here to train and learn stuff, so not sitting back and pushing yourself to try and get as much out of it. So that was a good takeaway for me, actually being exposed in that, where I'm having to approach people I don't even know, and also do things that I'm not used to. So just being thrown into that.
We only know Leinster, you know what I mean? We probably, like, we don't see beyond Leinster, like, and stuff, and obviously this is where we want to be. For us, it's like the best club in the world or whatever, but just being, like, as you say, thrown in the deep end, you know what I mean? And just not knowing what's it's going to be like, or what might I get out of this, or what people are going to think of me. I thought that was probably my biggest takeaway, and just not sort of have those worries or doubts, just sort of throw yourself in the deep end and sort of enjoy it.
Being away from league, you realise how much stuff you got to work on in a union environment, with obviously kicking and everything. But also a key one for me is just being a good bloke in person. Like, it's just a good bloke overall and all around. You don't really understand how much of an impact you can leave on people's lives, especially us in a new environment, not knowing anything. We feel so comfortable here and so welcomed. So obviously I'm going to go back to Melbourne saying how great this place was and I'd love to come back.
I remember Matt Duffy said like, he's never seen, he sees more good blokes be better rugby players than bad blokes, sort of thing. So like being here just reinforced that. I'm sure the club has a similar mantra, like you're a good bloke in and around training. So that reinforces what we have back home. So it's quite cool to see that another place that's so successful has a similar, nuance to it. But yeah, keen to rest the legs.